Saturate and desaturate with the sponge tool. I'll grab the sponge tool from here. Suppose I want to saturate only this car. I'll make a selection of the car with any of the selection tools. Go to sponge tool mode, select saturate. And then we just paint on the car with the sponge tool. Now suppose I want to desaturate this background area. I'll invert the selection with Shift Ctrl I. Go to sponge tool mode again. This time select desaturate. And then I'm just going to paint this area with the sponge tool. So here's the before and here's the after. To explain the flow option, I'll have to go to the sponge tool brush settings and then increase the spacing. We can use both saturate and desaturate. I'm just using saturate to explain this. Right now flow is at 100%. I'm going to go and paint with the sponge tool. This is just one layer of painting. Now I'm going to paint over and over for 8 times. You can see how the saturation is building up, right? Now I'm going to go and decrease flow to 20%. Paint a single layer here. And you can see how weak the strength of the saturation is compared to this. I'm going to layer up the saturation for 8 times here. And the build-up is also weaker than this. Last we have Vibrance. I've seen Vibrance act differently with Saturate and Desaturate mode. We are in Saturate mode right now, and Vibrance is unchecked. Now I'm going to go and paint with the sponge tool, and you can see it's saturating the colors without altering the brightness much. Now let's try with Vibrance on. I'm going to go and paint, and you can see it tends to increase the brightness along with the saturation. So here's the original image without Vibrance, and this is with Vibrance. Let's see how Vibrance works with the Desaturate mode. Right now Vibrance is unchecked. Let's go and paint with the sponge tool, and you can see it evenly desaturates both the saturated and desaturated colors. Not only that, the final result also becomes a little bit dull. Now let's compare it with Vibrance. Let's turn it on. And now when I paint with the sponge tool, you can see it tends to protect the saturated colors, meaning it doesn't desaturate evenly. Thus the final result is more colorful and less dull. So here's the original. This is without Vibrance, and this with Vibrance.